What's up, my peeps? How's it going? Today on the Monday Challenge, we're going to try and balance the C200 on the Zhiyun Crane 2. Let's get it going. By the way, for those of you guys who are new to the channel, what's poppin'? My name is Burke Cullinane, and I do these weekly filmmaking challenges every Monday to try and learn new things and grow as a filmmaker. For those of you guys who don't know, I co-own a creative agency video production company called King Wolf Creative. We bought the C200B. It doesn't come with the EVF, it doesn't come with the top handle, the monitor, all that stuff. When we bought this camera online, they were running a promotion and it came with a Shogun Flame, so that's super dope. Originally, I was thinking about using my Ninja, but having two monitors is gonna be great, especially because I'm going to use the Ninja, which I'm recording on right now, with this rig, because having this on here would just be ridiculous. Having a smaller monitor on here is gonna make it a lot easier to rock around. Since we have the C200B, we're gonna be able to get a little bit more tilt out of this because there's no EVF right here. We've been renting the C200 for a while, and we've been renting the model with the EVF, and I've never been able to balance it. Now, we also only were using the Sigma 18-35, and we just got this lens in, which is the Canon 10-22. It's a 3.5 to 4.5, which isn't gonna be the best in low light, but if you're on a gimbal, you don't want a super shallow depth of field anyways. Dual pixel autofocus with native glass. This is gonna be dope on a gimbal. But this is completely stripped down. There is nothing on this. When I was balancing it, I had this little guy on here, which is how we mount the monitor on, and that was throwing it off completely. The second I took that off, I was able to perfectly balance it. And you can tell that this is balanced because I can just put the camera kinda anywhere and it doesn't move, that's great, that's what you want. This is the setup that we're using, that we're able to balance it. I haven't tried any other lenses besides the 50-1.8, but I mean, this lens is so light, it was just kind of a given that it would be able to balance. Down the road, I would like to try other lenses to see if I'm able to balance it, see how much weight I can put on this. But balancing this was a lot easier than I thought, so this part of the challenge was fairly simple. Now I have to go out and see if I'm getting any of those micro-jitters. One thing I will say is that right now, I have the motors set to high for the intensity. This is gonna be the first time that I'm recording on a C200 on a gimbal. I'm ready to rock, baby. Alright, so a little bit of a recap here. Really stoked on how this came out. I'm wicked pumped on how the shots look. You know, shooting around, it didn't feel like the motors were working too hard, so I figured that there probably weren't going to be too many micro jitters, which when I brought it into Premiere, there really weren't. I only added warp stabilizer to a few clips here and there. I pretty much shot this entire sequence at 10mm. There was a couple times where I punched in a little bit, but I don't think it ended up in the sequence. I really like the super wide look. It looks really cool, but it would be cool to mess around with a tighter focal length. I'm really impressed with that Zhiyun Crane 2, and I'm really stoked because I was a little worried if we were gonna have to get a new gimbal or not. But luckily, you know, this lens on that camera, on that gimbal, good to go. If you'd like to see a more in-depth process on how I create these YouTube videos, as well as what it's like to do this and run a production company full-time, you can subscribe to my Patreon. I do behind-the-scenes content. I also show the gear that I use. I show the techniques that I use. We also do a once-a-month live stream where I review your content and then go over any techniques that you guys would want to cover, and that's all for only $10 a month. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, all the things that you do, and as always, stay hungry. I just realized I never turned that on the entire time today. It just off. Just off in the background, you know. Usually, if you don't know, now you know. Usually, this guy's on. Like this. Yeah. What's poppin', my people? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not doing the whole video again. So, you're just gonna have to wait and see next time if you're new here. All right, peace.